My family was from the deep south. My father went to Baltimore in the 1920s. Went to work at Bethlehem Steel. After a few months, called for the family and they all came up. And 10 years later, I was born in Dundalk. So I was raised by a bunch of Georgia crackers. And as a kid, I kind of talked like a Georgia cracker as much as I did a Baltimorean. It was kind of a mixture. And the kids kind of teased me. They good-naturedly called me a y'all boy. And I thought it was pretty funny. But anyhow, Southern people, country people, didn't have any television sets, they didn't have any radios, so they told yarns. Oh, everybody sat around the living room and somebody would have an idea and they'd tell a story. Everybody'd listen and enjoy it. And they got good at it. In the home I lived in, my dad had 20 brothers. No, I'm sorry, he had 18 brothers. Half brothers, some of them were. Anyway, they were a great bunch of storytellers. And they used to come up to Baltimore from down in Georgia and Florida where they were living. And they'd tell a story and we'd all sit around with bated breath listening. And some of them were really good stories. But you know, there was a lot of history in them stories. Today, you want to know some history, you have to read a doggone history book, which is about as dry as desert sand. And it would be nice to be able to just hear a story that also told some history. Well, that's kind of what I have always wanted to do, is to sit down and tell stories. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here with these videos. I want to tell stories. I worked was shop foreman in a machine shop for a lot of years. And the guys used to come into my office at lunchtime and sit down and eat their lunch. And once in a while somebody would say, "Hey Doug, tell us a yarn." So I'd tell them a story. And they thought it was great. They enjoyed it. They really had a good time. So anyway, I thought maybe y'all were just dying to hear a story, so I figured I'd get on here and tell one once in a while. And I hope you enjoy.